I'm Bryanna Schwartz.
And I'm Katherine Novinski, and we spent this summer in Zanzibar, an island off the coast of Tanzania, living with a Zanzibari woman, Zakia, and her son, Lukman. Zanzibar is such a unique place because of the blend between the African and Arabic cultures. It was invaluable to live in a strict Muslim culture for 2 months, where we had to dress conservatively to be accepted in society, and where we were personally challenged in our views of modesty and feminism.
We are working with Students for Students International at UNC, a student-run nonprofit which funds scholarships for girls to help them finish their secondary education and reach university. We are sent over to select the new class of scholars for S4SI and check up on the current scholars. After spending the year fundraising for these scholarships, it was an incredible experience to really see the change S4SI is making in these girls' lives, to see how happy they were to actually have textbooks to study from and transportation to school.
From talking to the Commissioner of Education, we gained a better understanding of why girls often do not receive the same educational opportunities as boys. She explained how once girls reach puberty, they are expected to fulfill domestic responsibilities, which often interfere with their ability to complete their education. It was inspiring to work with S4SI's local partner NGO, Forum for African Women Educationalists, and to see the strength of these women and their commitment to girls' education despite the pressures of society.
One of the hardest but most rewarding parts of the trip was interviewing and selecting the girls. Sitting there in this run-down classroom, listening to them talk in their second language about wanting to build a primary school for their local village or find a way to treat malaria or HIV was truly inspiring.
Also, I want to be a doctor, because I want the people in my country to be in a good health. Also, I want to help women and children. That's all. Also,
all of the girls had this pure and simple love of learning, which showed through their curious questions and determination to succeed.
I like the way you laugh. Can you teach me how?
We're so lucky we were able to become friends with the girls we selected and the other S4SI scholars. Because now every time we have an S4SI executive board meeting, we think about Rahia and Shamsa and Salma and Thania. Until we met each of these girls, we could have never comprehended the difference one scholarship makes.
After working with S4SI in the morning, we took the Dala Dala to the Zanzibar Girls Hostel, where we read books, helped with homework, and taught basic computer skills to the girls who lived there. We also finished a library that S4SI at UVA had started over winter break. The girls at the hostel were our sisters. It was so cool to see and work with these young women in their home, where they were free to be individuals, carefree, independent, and even silly.
We would always begin by reading books and practicing vocabulary, but on certain days the reading progressed to casual conversation, inevitably leading to singing and dancing. We sang every song from My Heart Will Go On to their favorite Swahili pop songs to the Zanzibar national anthem.
After we'd read with the girls for a few hours, we'd hop on another Dala Dala and ride to Streeter's class, the English school where we taught. We will never forget the first day where the headmaster threw us each into a classroom and said, "Bryanna, teach sentences. Katherine, teach time."
And how about those questions? Do you think it was right for your country to kill Saddam Hussein? Why don't men have multiple wives in your country? Want to marry my brother? I think we learned more from them than we ever could have taught. Watching their skits, listening to their oral exams, and observing boy-girl interactions gave us an insight we could not have picked up from just walking around the streets of Stone Town.
It was both challenging and humbling to visit our friends' homes and be showered with food and gifts from these people who had so little themselves.
It was hard to sit by the water and to be the only two girls, to see the boys playing football and flipping into the ocean, but know the girls were at home finishing their chores. Luckily, we were able to work personally with so many girls who showed us the strength of the women and the humility with which they serve their community.
We learned to see the beauty, humility, and simplicity in the way they live.